How's it going, everybody? I got it. Sarasota Tim. Driving down the road looking for a cup of coffee. The car is filthy. I haven't washed it in 12 hours. Got to go to the car wash. It's Monday. Welcome to Monday, everybody. New week, new day, new lease on life. I'm feeling good, feeling better. Doctor's appointments are coming up this week. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate all the input that I get in the comments, because a lot of things I don't think about, like putting the little thing on the coffee cup before I put the hot coffee in it. But Bubba, I want to say thank you to Bubba. He's a great member of the community. Talking about driving out west, and I was fearful of the potholes and the crazy fast trucks that go by and the other crazy drivers, that I could take state roads, and stay off the freeway. And again, going very slow, just not in any big hurry. That was why I've been recommended doing that kind of driving many times before, especially on my motorcycle trips, is to get off the freeway. You see more, and it really doesn't even take that much longer. And I'm like, yeah. I'm hard-headed. But I think that's exactly what I need to do, for no other reason than the crazy tore up road. I mean, it's just awful. So that's something that I'll consider if and when I go. But also, some of you suggested, as well as Bubba again, that there is no hurry. I mean, we're getting ready to come into the best weather of the world right here in South Florida, and that so many of you have echoed that I absolutely should do the eye thing before any other pleasures like traveling. That is important. And of course, I already knew this and probably would have, but I was going to ask the doctor, is there a way it can be postponed, or what's the urgency, or what good is it going to do? What's it about? Because, a lot of these doctors, just like when you go to a dentist and get a cleaning, we see something here. We need to do a bridge, a root canal, $10,000. And if you agree to $5,000 of it, they've won. It's just like when you go to take your car to the dealership for an oil change. They come out and they tell you need $3,000 worth of services that you didn't even know you needed. But if you agree to $1,000 of it, they win. They make money. It's called building the ticket. Doctors are in a business. They became a doctor for this. They are not the old school cowboy doctors that cared about people. I don't mean to say that insensitively, like they don't care about people, but they care about this, number one. And the third leading cause of death is going to a doctor these days. Misdiagnosis, medical errors, given these prescriptions pills that have such crazy side effects. And if you look on TV, all of these commercials are about pills. And ask your doctor if this pill's right for you. Like, you're going to go into the doctor and say, hey, can you give me some of these, whatever it's called? They always get this weird name. I mean, I don't get it. They promote pills as much as they do selling cars on TV. It's either a car commercial, a pill commercial, or some kind of, stupid thing. Crazy political ad right now. But I digress. Nothing is going to distract me from living a positive life. I feel very good about my life right now. I've got a lot of things that some people don't have, so I'm very appreciative. But I hate to brag or boast, but I got it going on. In my mind, I think that the living style I'm doing in this high cost of living state and city that I live in, that I'm doing about as smart a thing as I can do to live as cost effectively as I can. I am absolutely 100% never going to back down from the fact that I am a minimalist. When I say that, please listen. There are probably 100 definitions from 100 different people of how they, in their mind, describe or think of a minimalist. In no way or shape or form is a minimalist living on the beach in a mansion. Okay, we already know that's not a minimalist. But someone that's willing to live in a camper and has zero debt. I have no debt. That's right, zero. Take it to the bank. May not have been the smartest thing I've done, but I don't owe anybody anything. And I don't want to owe anybody anything. And yes, I have 2 vehicles. I got 2 pair of pants. I got 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. And I even had 2 campers at one time and still proclaimed to be a minimalist. Because I sold one and got down to one, and I sold one for more than I paid for it. And if I were to sell this one, I would get more than I paid for it because I've lived in it for a year next month, and I've been paying myself back about $1,200 a month that I haven't paid rent. My truck has more than paid for itself, and it has a good value. And this is proving to save money every time, like right now, driving it. Now, it'll be a while before it actually becomes kind of paying for itself. If I were to sell this today, I'd lose my butt because I haven't saved anything with it. I bought it new. It would be depreciated. Although it's a very select car that is going to bring as good a resale value as anything could possibly bring out there for a car because of what it is, because of the name on it, because of the color, because of the trim level, because of the price I gave. If I could steal it, if I did, the price I gave, I stole it for stealing it today, for stealing new cars. I use that as a term, you know, it's not a literal. I called 3 different places, and I had a third one, a fourth one. No, he was one of the 3. He was calling me before I signed for this one, offering me a little less, but he didn't have the car. He was going to get the car. Maybe he was going to get the car from where I bought it. But anyway, it was very negligible of what all of these management that I talked to were offering me to pay. Now, if I would have waited and bought this car in a year or 6 months and found someone that wanted to lose their butt and traded it back in or sold it to somebody, didn't like it, whatever the reason, you know, I would have bought it for a little less. But you're not gonna buy a 2024 even used with 800 miles on it for thousands and thousands less than a new one. You're just not gonna do it. Hey, check this out. 25 Camry, right there. Oh, wow. Nice. It had that different front end on it. But I digress. I'm a minimalist. And I have this car to run around. I don't want to drive the truck to run around and get 8 miles per gallon. Here's why. Here's why I thought about it. Listen to my thinking. All right. If I kept the Tundra and I didn't spend $40,000 for a new car, and I drove around the Tundra and fed the gas tank, and then I sold the Tundra one day because I got a good deal on it. I bought it used, and it's got a really good resale value, and they're very reliable, and blah, 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 about a Toyota Tundra, like the Toyota 4Runner I had. How much would I be getting back of that good resale value, less the tankers of gas that I put in it? Yeah, you got a good money back for that truck. But guess what? You didn't get anything back because you spent a fortune at the gas stations. Now, let me tell you, when you run that thing around town, it gets 10 miles per gallon. And all I do is run around. So I was feeding that thing. I got tired of it. 38 gallons. It took $100, $80 to $90 to fill it up. Not going to do it. So with the added benefit of the fuel economy I'm getting with this, the pure self-esteem I get of driving around in such a nice car, and all of that, and then my truck is the miles aren't being added on it, the wear and tear, those tires, those brakes, all that is just sitting there waiting to perform the job that it was purchased to do, to tow my camper. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This person here doesn't understand yielding. All right. I'm at Wawa. There's another Camry in pearl white. Let's finish talking for a second. So yeah, I'm absolutely a minimalist. And what I have, if I were to, someone suggested last night, this is an idea that I'm thinking about. I probably won't do it, but what are your thoughts? So that's why I said a minute ago, I started out my video saying the community is so smart on suggesting things like the coffee thing that I made a joke about. But here's what someone said last night was profound. Now that I've got 2 cars, I could sell the Crusher, the Tundra, and the Crasher, the Flagstaff. I could sell them and buy a Class C and tow the CC Rider and be back down to 1-1. But whatever God's plan is going to be. I don't think that I could be happy in a Class C to live full time, which is what I like to do. I like to live full time. It's fine to own one and travel with it. Even my friend that's got a Class B, it's nice, he says, to travel in because you pull over every night, you got everything right there, you're self-contained. But when you want to stay in it for any length of period of time, when you get to that point, it's cramped. And Class Cs basically all have the same exact floor plan and colors, and they're ugly, in my opinion. I mean, they're nice to have if you don't have an RV and you buy a Class C. Now, I'm not talking about buying one of those extra long ones with triple slides and spend a god amount of money. And then, you have the issue where if something happened, I got to get out of this sunlight. What's going on? There we go. If I get into something that breaks and that's my home and I have to take it in because of some mechanical engine thing, see? And then, what do I do? So it's a trade-off. But it's a good idea. It really is. Let's say you get a small, but then you got to live in it. You get a medium Class C, and you can buy it for what you can get for the Tundra and the Flagstaff together, and you own it, which is what I've got to do. I'm never going to owe anybody anything. If I can't do that, I'm out. And I would buy pre-owned because, see, RVs, nobody uses them. Even those driving kind, they use it 2 or 3 times and they park it. They don't. I wouldn't want one anybody lived in, and I wouldn't want anything that has a lot of miles on it. And a lot of people are just trying to get out of them right now. And the resale value stinks, especially in this economy. So I could probably pick one up pretty cheap. And then the idea, though, of being able to drive and pull this, I don't know if this is a pulling kind of a car or what I got to do. Some cars you just can't pull because of their transmissions. Or if I got to put it on a flatbed or a tow dolly, or I don't know what I got to do. I'll look into it. That's why a lot of people that pull cars behind their RVs, they have a special vehicle like a Jeep or this or that are towables. So That would be kind of cool to get somewhere. All I have is the Class C RV, disconnect this, and run around Sioux. And that RV will only burn gas when it goes from one campground or one RV park or one truck stop to the next. Now that is something really worth thinking about. And I would just have to start looking at some floor plans of some Class C's and investigating. Maybe you can even investigate for me if the 24 Honda Accord Hybrid, I don't know if that makes a difference, can be towed, in neutral without damaging the transmission or anything. Or do I have to put it up on a flatbed? And that means I have to have a trailer. I'm out on that. If I can't, maybe a little dolly, they're a little easier to park over to the side. And that's really old school. Most people don't do that anymore. They really don't, because I don't know. I don't see it very often. But yeah, there's an idea. And I haven't stopped thinking about it ever since I got the suggestion last night from the comments. I thought, wow, some things we just can't think of everything. We have to get input. We're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. We don't know everything. And so the community is once again proven to be an outstanding source of information and tips. And I get plenty of it on my diet and food tips and the carnivore diet. Thank you, Jim Bauer. And what else? I'm at the Wawa. The coffee's waiting for me in there. But as you can tell, I've had some. This guy just walked out with a cup. I bet it's the best cup of coffee he ever drank in his life. And I think I'm supposed to go see my good friends today, Fred and Rafaela. I also have some black slacks here that I need to drop off at the dry cleaner that I wore for formal dressing night on the cruise. And I neglected to get my free photos that I could have gotten, part of the Diamond package as a Royal Caribbean member. I didn't even ask for it. I left money on the table, man. Oh, there they are. I thought, where are they? Got them. Because I'm using my Walmarts, but I'm carrying my my bag, my everyday carry. This is my everyday carry bag. It's a sling. It's got my firearm, my ID, some other protection things in there, money, the credit cards, my whole everyday carry, the EDC. I used to watch a lot of videos when I got into my firearms about people putting on a desk table their EDC, their everyday carry, a pen, even can be used as a self-defense, a flashlight, all these guys. It was crazy. All these guys, what do you call what do you call people that prepare for the future? If SHIT hits, or not SHIT, TF, crap hits the fan, preppers or whatever. And this was years ago, and I would watch a lot of videos. I took a lot of gun safety courses, training, how to react in an emergency situation, because you get all, a lot of people that are walking around with a firearm wouldn't know what to do if something happened. You got to have knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. That's what we just talked about. Tips. Even though I know one thing about one thing, I didn't know about putting a sleeve on a coffee cup first. So, information. So, today I'm going to make a decision about some golf. I'll be talking to the doctors, most likely tomorrow. And I'll start investigating the Class C option. That sounds very intriguing. It's more intriguing about two things. Having that and only this car, because I wouldn't miss the Crusher. But the only thing that's a hiccup on the whole deal is even thinking, even contemplating that I wouldn't be living in the Crasher. I just can't imagine that how long I would last, and my mind would say, this sucks, I'm out, trying to live in a Class C. If it wasn't for the uniqueness and the coolness of what I have, if it wasn't such a blessing to find that. And remember the story. I was in Georgia a year ago next month. I went to make some videos. I pulled into an RV park, as I have many times before. And I saw these Flagstaff microlights, and I saw they're outside. And I said, look at that. Look at that front window. Look at that little nose bubble on there. They just look bitchin'. And what must it look like on the inside? So I deferred going back to Florida with the wolf pup and waited to go back the next day to look inside, to make a video only. And then I discovered they weren't open on Mondays. They're closed right now. It was a Sunday when I went. They're closed. They're Christian people. They're closed on Sunday and Monday because they're open on Saturdays. And they only want to work 5 days a week. They're very successful. And so now I got to wait 2 days. And God said, stay there at my daughter's. And I did. And Tuesday, I went in and out of these floor plans. And within 2 of them, I said, I got to get this. And I happened to have my wolf pup with me. And if you remember last October, I stayed in 2 different cabins, Airbnbs, that subscribers invited me to stay at. Just because they liked the channel. Not for any reason, not for any money, not for any make a video for me, even though I did out of courtesy and appreciation and to promote them. I mean, it's the least I could do. And I happened to have that wolf pup with me. I never even used it much. And I even stayed in a 3rd cabin. I keep forgetting about that in Charlotte, that someone graciously let us stay in. In fact, I got sick there. Made it a sick house, but we cleaned everything up. There was nothing there when I left. And so the entire month of October wasn't even spent, which was supposed to be take the wolf pup from Ted and Jolene's, go to North Carolina, see some of friends and relatives, and then go and see the fall leaves and the apple festival and my daughter and stuff. And she was very gracious to let me camp in her yard once we were offered to stay in the local Airbnbs that were offered to me over in, what's it called over there? That, what's the name of that town? Anyway, I forget. I almost said it. Ellijay. And there's a town just north of that where the other one was. And these 2 guys knew each other that let me stay in these cabins. Everything was a godsend, folks. Everything came together. That's why I'm saying, if God put me in that camper because he knew I was going to be living in it today, then I'm probably not meant, or it was just for temporal, and I will get a Class C, and there will be another chapter in my life. So I'm not saying, but I just can't imagine really anything else. I mean, the Crusher pulls it. It's half-ton pullable. It isn't that unsafe. It isn't that scary. If I stay off the highways, I already own it. It's more than paid back thousands of dollars to me by living in it for going on a year next month. The truck has proven to be the reliable vehicle, even though I disparage it about the fuel economy. It's an amazing looking, it's the right trim level. It's just, what am I thinking? Help me out, community, because I get going. And I got to be talked to. I got to be supervised and helped out by God Almighty and my community. And he speaks through some of you. And I know it when I hear it, because you guys definitely crush it.